What's going on, folks? Painless. I know it's been a minute, but I just been cooling, kicking back, um, living life. Many of y'all probably snowed in, or the roads are icy, and I mean, there's absolutely no reason to be outside if you don't have to. So I just been hunkered down, got everything I need, just chilling. But a lot is going on. I wanted to delve into some of these topics that have been hot like fire. Uh, when you mess with the bull, you get the horns, folks. And I've said, many of you all know I've been talking about this stuff for over 10 years. Damn near 15 years. I go all the way back to the Occupy Wall Street. And that's essentially what you have now. Doing the same shit almost 15 years ago. Damn near 15 years ago. Almost 20 years ago. And here we have it. You have people running around here and saw the video of this lady. And I tell you, they're the same. It's the same type. It's the same type. Nose bone, pink hair, the pentagram sign with the goat and the star, whatever they call that. See, when you see signs like that on these young, weirdo libtards like that, you already know what they are. And you'd be surprised how many people don't know what those... Look, let me tell you something. I don't necessarily know what that sign means, but when I see it, I know the mentality. These are the same ones of that ilk of that person in Nashville a couple years ago, that she that unalived them people at that private school a couple years ago. That's what we're dealing with. And these are the ones that are attempting to dictate policy. And I say also, this is the wagon that the so-called black community has hitched their wagon to, has hitched to. This is who the so-called black community decide to hitch their wagon to. Weirdness, wokeness. And I said, you got a people, and I said, black, when y'all sit around, y'all always in some shit that you ain't got no business. I can't tell you me little TikToks or reels. I'm seeing B-dubs out here being the loudest, capping the most for a group of people that will inadvertently or advertently keep you down. And I said, any guy talking about, anti-ICE this and anti-ICE that, I'm like, man, I already know what you're on. I already know your mentality. These are the type of guys, guys like that are the type of guys that will go out in weather like this, way across now to a woman that he ain't even sleeping with, been trying to sleep with, and bring her some damn groceries in this goddamn type of weather right here. Instead of taking care of his own self. But yeah, she, again, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And that's what happened to her. And then you look at her background, weird old lesbian, should have been at home working or out working. Why are you out there on the street antagonizing? And I said that this is, I remember telling people I had an issue until I got, I got it explained to. I can't stand when I roll up somewhere and I just see somebody sitting in their goddamn car. Like, just sitting in their damn car. To me, that shit is what they cringe. With people using that word, that shit is cringe to me. That shit is weird, old, suspect behavior. You just posting in your car. To one of my sisters, like, oh, well, maybe they're Instacarting or door dashing, waiting on their orders. Which, okay. I'm like, damn, there's an awful lot of door dashers and Instacarters. You go out, you see so many people since COVID on the street now. It could be a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Say you done took off for an appointment, you got to do something, go to a doctor appointment, dental appointment, and you be out on the streets, and you be like, what? Why ain't these? I know why I'm out here, because I got a damn dental appointment. Why are all these goddamn cars on the street on a Tuesday at 10:30 a.m.? And it's because it's that great resign effect. A lot of these people, man, are struggling. A lot of people ain't got shit going on. They sit on their phone all damn day, or they do shit like this, go out and interfere with federal law enforcement, and then get their ass capped. A vehicle is a deadly weapon, folks. And see, you know what's so funny about this? You see, you don't hear white folks over here. The only people you hear going hard for that white lady that got herself unalived is weirdos. The people I was just describing earlier. The big gauge ears and nose rings and tattoos all over their face, loser rejects. They're the ones. Mainstream white society is like, hey, man, she got what she was looking for. I ain't gonna say she got what she deserved. She got what she was looking for. And that's that. There's nothing really else to discuss. And all them people up in Minneapolis cutting up ain't got shit to do. It's cold out there they just kill somebody else. And see, that's when you don't have shit going on. And that's what a lot of is going on with these people. They don't have anything going on. And like I said, those white people, mainstream white people, they wasn't, marching in the street and saying all that. It's just what it was. You see, white man, he'll check. It just is what it is. Could you imagine if this was a black law enforcement officer or ICE agent, whatever you want to call them, CPD, Customs Border Protection Agent, CBP, excuse me, and it was a black female? Oh man, this would be crazy. It would be crazy. The narrative, I can just only imagine the narrative. But yeah, you sister, y'all need to sit y'all asses down and stop jumping up in the mix. I thought y'all would sit on top of the skyscrapers letting the city burn. Remember that bullshit a couple years ago? We're unbothered? Obviously not. Because you can't resist and sticking your nose in every goddamn thing. And I've told you about the low self-esteem of a lot of black folks. Always got to be in the mix. Why? Because you're like a child. You need to be seen and heard. You can't just sit your ass down and just be. And that's a symptom of low self-esteem, man, which a lot of blacks have. Low self-esteem. I'll be in the cut. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard unless I need to. Silence is power. That's why nobody take black folks seriously. And then you couple that where you can put I remember saying back in the day, how could somebody in Thailand know about black folks in America? Because I went to a school with a lot of international students. And I remember this Thai guy, he was, real innocent, but that was his reality. And this was in '05. Could you imagine? People know niggas now and ain't even got to meet you. Why? They can just get on TikTok or Instagram and see. Look, I'm going to tell you one thing. I went to a smoke shop what's the day? Sunday? Friday. And it happened to be owned by people from the Middle East, some Arabs. And I'm making my business not to entertain those stores, but I was right there and I didn't know, because sometimes it's a hit or miss. You may have some white guys back there, But in this case, given the area, I didn't really think it would be an Arab guy back there. But nevertheless, I wanted to check out their cigar selection. So he gave me the key. I went back there, got what I needed. And in the midst of that, just like that, that should show you this how stuff can change. Just like that. I came back to give him his key. I'm standing there, and there's a brother there. He's probably like early 50s, haggling about some damn tickets and backwoods. And I'm not even looking. I don't like standing behind people in line, so I stand off to the side because I know a lot of people don't like that. Some people don't like people standing behind them. So I'm making my business to kind of stand off to the side so they can see me. Especially nowadays, you can't be this up on people. Anyway, he over there haggling about some backwoods and some tickets, lottery tickets. And the conversation, he was very confrontational, man, the brother. Like, he was and I was like, this shit goes down every single day. And where I'm at, the neighborhood, it was like, I thought the Arab dude was kind of out of, like, what you doing on? That's what prompted me to go to the store. I didn't think it would be them in ownership. But I said, could you imagine this, like, in some neighborhood in St. Louis or Detroit or Saginaw, Michigan, or Stockton, California, dealing with, what I'm saying? That stuff can go real left. And I say all that to say is, people develop a certain identity about you before they even meet you. Oh, here come one. Now, y'all may be saying, well, Payless, those people do try to get over on you and all that stuff and do this, that, and the third. And yeah, that's exactly why I stay out of their stores. And in fact, when he finally left and huffed and puffed his ass up out the store, I went up there, gave the man his key, paid for my cigars. Arab guy threw in an extra lighter for me. Now, I don't know what the hell that means, but they like to wheel and deal. So if some shit was $1.75 yesterday, it may be $1.82. That's just how they do. That's why I in particular don't like to patronize their stores. But yeah, people ain't got to guess about what niggas are now. They just jump on Instagram and see your asses. Everybody cut up. But see, black folk, y'all don't have the benefit to cut up. All this white people do it too shit. You don't have that benefit. You say white privilege. If you know there's white privilege and there ain't no black privilege, why are you always cutting the fuck up? If you know this premise in your mind to be true, you should be on your best goddamn behavior. If you know you don't get the benefit of the doubt because you ain't white, I just don't understand that. Like, I'm regular degular when I go out and, I don't crack too many jokes, but I'm not rigid. I'm just act like I got some damn sense and know how to speak and know just how to move. But yeah, it's she got what she was looking for. And white people, most mainstream white people, saw that shit and went on about their business. But yeah, and then you got this situation with Adam 22 and Jason Love. This is a shit show from the get. And I've said this before, especially dealing with black men. Black men, we're the people. Black men are the people that we're the people you love to hate. Especially if you're a straight male and you ain't all with the bojangling and you just regular. I notice this is not just Caucasian people. This people in general, when they can't put a black man in a box and he's just regular, reserved, and regal, they just can't help but come and fuck and bother you. Case in point, my cousin flew in here a couple weeks ago. We went out to a nice bar, had some food, listened to some music, had a couple drinks. And we were just sitting there watching TV after this in the bar, kind of just looking up, they'll have the big screen, whatever. I think we was watching Steelers and the Texans play playoff football. And do you know, as me and my cousin were sitting there, it was one of these weird old tatted up Justin Bieber looking white dudes and a regular middle-aged white woman. And they were just looking at us like, because they were down at the lower bar, we was up higher on the bar. And they were like, gosh, you guys look amazing. And I looked down and I looked who it was and I just kind of looked at them. And it was kind of like some broke buck shit. Like they just couldn't, I guess the way we was just chilling, they just saw two masculine black men that they wanted to see, in my mind, if they can do something with. I'm like, that sound like y'all want to have relations with us. And they just, they just couldn't stop. You guys look good, man. I tell you, oh gosh, you guys look good. And I said, see, this is that weirdo shit. This is why Painless doesn't necessarily like going out, because even if you, like I said, in the beginning part of this story, even when you just sitting unbothered, minding your own goddamn business, you can't mind your own damn business as a black man. Now, if you are bojangling and they can't put a label on you, they want to trigger you into some bullshit. And that's why I say with this Jason Love and Adam 22, all that cuckold, you as a black man, you may think that's a flex because you having sexual relations with another man's wife or girlfriend, but really you're the one that's really on the ass end of it. See, Adam 22, he's got a little paper, you know. I don't know Jason Love. He's a adult film actor. So yeah, you got the ass, but at the end of the day, he's loaded. Yeah, and you whooped his ass, but he's still a white guy that exploits young black men in Los Angeles. With that, got these guys, and see, a lot of them are young guys that's doing this, that is getting taken advantage of, going up on his platform and talking set business, hood business, which is very serious in Los Angeles. I can rest assured, me spending a considerable amount of time in Los Angeles, who has family of some of these neighborhoods that have been on there, most of these guys do not like that. You're talking too much. And there's a reason why it's a majority of these young guys on there. Because you damn sure ain't going to find nobody my age or below me or below them that's below me. If you like 30 and up, you ain't going to have too many dudes from certain communities, neighborhoods, getting on there talking and showing their face. So the ones that are doing it are kind of like gang goofy with it. And he's been exploiting them and he's been making money off them. I don't particularly like Adam 22's platform. I think it's really another level of cuckolding. Because then the guys end up fighting each other from certain neighborhoods or sets. And it's just a whole shit show. But I don't promote that. But yeah. Oh yeah, Jason Love, you knocked down his wife. Why? You did, I don't, and you typical brother letting his other head control his other head. I remember when I lived in San Antonio, there was a story about a young brother was on, this is when Craigslist was popping with the whole, before back page, you get your little ass on Craigslist. You get your little tail on Craigslist. So he got in touch with a couple, a Caucasian couple, went over there thinking he gonna smash the dude's wife, and they ended up chopping his ass up and killing him, obviously. Yeah. That shit happens all the time. That's why, even these dating sites, you got to be careful. And I said, a lot of people think they can do anything or say anything to black men without no recourse. And that shit is ingrained, especially down south with these white women, because most of our teachers was white coming up. So a lot of, and you need to be careful with this. A lot of white women be thinking they have this, oh, I'm Miss Bentley complex. Like, let me help you. You don't know what you're doing, black man. It's like inherent in how they interact with black men. Like, we're not capable. And you see, you damn sure see that in the so-called black community with black women, but that shit is changing, and I'll get to that here in a moment. But, yeah, a lot of these white women think they can talk to black men any type of way, and that's not the case with Painless. Like, chick, I've lived in 4 countries. Lived in 4 countries. I've been to numerous countries. You think I'm going to let your little podunk ass, because you're having a rough day at work because a lot of people are coming through your line to get groceries and check out? You need to find your ass another goddamn job. Because, you're not going to, because you're frazzled. And white women, they get easily frazzled. They get easily frazzled. White women cannot take pressure at all. One thing about sisters I give them, they can take more pressure than white women. White women, when they asses is backs against the wall, they fold. They get on antidepressants and end up drinking and unaliving themselves. They can't take pressure at all. So, but yeah, you have that shit a lot in the South. That whole, Toby and that whole, the brother always looking after what was that? I forget that book. When you had the little white girl and the older black man see something special in her, and he's breaking his back to make sure she's okay and all that. And then they grow up like that. They grow up thinking every black man is just a stepladder to get to where they want, or they look at you as a pet. That's why, you got these Vance, what's his name? Vance on CNN crying and shit. All these brothers crying online. Nah, that shit is out. But yeah, there's various forms of cuckolding. And brother, you need to realize that, hey man, just get your shit together. See, a lot of these white women, they discover, oh, like I ain't the run-of-the-mill type of black man you used to. I have standards and rules. This ain't, and like I said, this particular area of the South, they be on that shit. I guess they see black women doing it. They think they can do it. And you know what? A majority of the black men are like this. They ain't got shit going for them. Ain't got no car. Working a warehouse job is their main source of employment. Making $15.32 an hour. You can't do shit with $15.32 an hour. And these women know that. And they gonna treat you. See, when you got your own place, You own your own place. You make your money. You can do. A lot of women don't like that. They can't, especially if you a black man. Now they're used to white guys kicking ass, taking names, you know. But when a black guy has his shit together, and especially if a white woman don't got their shit together, they know in their head they messed up. Like, if this damn nigga has got it going on, where did I mess up? You know, what did I do wrong? They're not going to say that shit, but their actions going to manifest that. And brothers, you need to be cognizant of that shit. When you have your stuff together, there's a certain level of, you don't just have women over, especially nowadays, where these women is broke. It's a lot of people that's going to die this week. I just heard about this sister up in Michigan. They found her by a dumpster, damn near naked, died of frostbite. She was exposed too long out in the cold. And you know, of course, there's a man involved, and he's the culprit. It's always the man's fault. You know, they got a little punk ass GoFundMe for her. Of course, she can't. She no insurance. The family. I'm like, well, you know, why wouldn't she stand with no family? I can already see. You know, it's unfortunate that happened, but I can already kind of see just by me knowing black folks, kind of what the backstory on that shit was. It ain't even worth discussing. But it's a lot of people that's going to be. There's a lot of people in that predicament right now. A lot of sisters right now are shivering damn near to death right now. Right now. I just saw something yesterday on Good Morning America. They keep talking about black women are the new, you know, most unemployed and all this blase, and they got these sisters on here, you know, they do an interview, had one sister, typical, 53, probably was a GS-14 working for the Department of Agriculture at 53, trying to look for another job, saying, I didn't have no money. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to lose my job. And I'm like, at 53, you ain't got shit saved up? Now, if you like 26 and that happened, you can bounce back. And you may not have a lot of paper stacked up. But at 53, you should have some paper stacked up to where you can, like, you right around the corner from retirement. But see, I know, and I could tell, and look at this sister. She came in there, hair whipped, broke, no job, but hair whipped, nails, nice coat, walking a dog, buy a dog, die alone. Where we heard that? Most educated. And I know she's one of them travel types. You doing all that goddamn traveling, now look at you. You ain't got 2 nickels to rub together. But you want to talk about brothers now? Like y'all used to talk about? My had the tables in turn. And of course, Gayle King did the hit piece, you know. And then you had another sister talking about, well, you know, if black women, and see, it's so interesting when you hear things with a new set of ears. They were talking all this yin yang about how black women, if we're unemployed, then everybody's gonna be screwed. You know, this whole call to arms, like everybody should drop what they're doing and make sure black women are employed. You know what I'm saying? And I got to thinking, you've never heard this about black men being unemployed. Brothers always been undervalued in the workplace. Not, riding a bike. Oh, there go Jerry. Headed off to work on that bike. You never saw sisters on no damn 10-speed back in the day. You saw Monkey Man, Jerry, always on that 10-speed. Going down Washington Boulevard. Now you're going to see a lot of sisters on them damn e-bikes. Because your car's getting repoed. You're living in your car. And it's a lot of women that rather do that than get with a decent guy. And to me, I say, fuck them. There's really nothing to discuss when you're dealing with somebody like that. If you rather live in your car and it's 7 degrees outside, then deal with a decent guy that you may deem as boring because he likes to go to the gym. He doesn't like to be at all the damn functions, being seen, blowing money on drinks and trips, and trying to be in the mix and be fake. That's boring to you. I say let their ass stay in their car and freeze. Fuck them. That's what Painless says. See, you can't get me with that forgiveness or what would Jesus do, all that. You can't get me with that. Because if you want to keep it a buck, if you look biblically, that's exactly what they would let their ass do. Freeze or die of heat exhaustion, whatever the weather is in whatever said region. All this niceness and unaccountability, or you can just do shit and say shit without no recourse, that ain't biblical. There's accountability with the Lord. When you look at the word, you think you can just go out and do bullshit and knowing you doing bullshit and pray and then turn around and do that same bullshit tomorrow? I think not. You got it all messed up. But a lot of black folks, a lot of black Christians believe that shit. They believe that. I don't believe a God operates like that. I believe a God will show your ass so much, and then he's going to show you. You get chances. We're fallible. We make mistakes. But yeah, brothers, when you have your stuff together, now white woman, now sister, Asian, Latino, whatever, they can't see you. You got to act like their ass don't exist to a certain extent. You got, almost childlike. I look at a lot of women like, to a certain extent, like children. Not in a bad way, but especially when you have experience, maybe because I have experience in life that I know a lot of people don't have, a lot of women, especially in my area. So you just need to shut your mouth and that's why you got 2 ears. But a lot of women, American women, can't stand the fact that, especially black women, they can't stand the fact that you have more experience and outlook on life. They can't understand that, and they low-key don't like it. And they'll go so far as to low-key try to shame you in that. But see, again, I have too much life experience to fall for some shit like that. You know? Because I know what works. When you know what works and you're proving, and then I always say, look at your life. You're complaining about where you're going to move because your rent went up $75 damn dollars. You tripping about 75. I can see if your rent went up by $200, $300. Okay. But you tripping about $75? You already teetering. You already on one. You already on one toe. You're already on your right big toe at the edge of the cliff, teetering. All I got to do is blow on your ass, and you through. You done. So I'm not going to verbally joust with no chick like that. Because I know where I'm at. And I see where you at. I don't tell you where I'm at, but you telling me where you at. But I don't give a shit. All that virtue signaling and, and low-key dissing and you're going to need me before I need you. Trust. And that's exactly how I treat a lot of these women, because that's exactly what they are, They're the most educated. You spending $100,000 into it. You got $100,000 of student loan debt to get a $42,000 a year job. That's what black women do and think they holding. But we see that that's not the case. That's not the case. So all that most educated shit, that shit is proven to be non-existent. But it is what it is. Gonna watch a little bit of conference football, NFL, see who go to the Super Bowl. I got the Rams and the Patriots. Painless out.